Yeah, making a response video. Not sure how long the batteries will last on this camera, so might have to switch or something. Well, we'll see. Orygyn guy, advertisements on his video.
Pick up and ask.
Hello, may I ask who's...
Disgusting. Yes.
Hi guys, welcome to Orygyn.
Jerk.
On my video about antinatalism, someone talked about another concept.
What's all this? Just a heads up that this video will be deleted tomorrow afternoon. F-lists have told me that my description of their position is wrong. I wouldn't normally post an annotation about this, but there's still a comment discussions underway and I don't want to interfere with them. But there you go. Less than 2 weeks after chastising people who don't do basic research, I do the same. Sorry. Oh. Well, gee, so I shouldn't play the video? Is that what you're saying? Well, I'll just respond briefly, just to some of the general critiques in here, and to some, well, maybe I shouldn't even bother with the comments, right? You're going to take the video down, all the comments are going to be deleted anyway. Big waste of everybody's time. Why don't you leave the video up and just make another video calling yourself an assholist? Alright? Yeah, exactly. Somebody just talks out of their asshole. You know, you made this video and you didn't make a counter argument to anything. You even use like genericisms like a death cult or a suicide cult. So all suicide cults are wrong. You use Jonestown as an example. Jonestown was a failed commune based on an economic idea more than a religious idea. They were basically communists. They wanted to do it their way, and it didn't work out. Okay, they ended up getting caught in a snarly thing because of child custody crap, and so it ended up, some people got killed, and they knew it was all coming to an end, and they killed themselves. So they wasn't even a death cult, you dumb fucking moron. It wasn't a suicide cult. All right, it was a failed economic experiment, and the people did the rational thing, which was, yeah, we have nowhere to go. Fuck it, we're done. We're cooked. We're finished. And but yeah, the facts don't matter to you fuckers. So all suicide is wrong. All suicide that people would agree upon is wrong. I mean, it's just, it's just so generic. This behavior. You're generically bigoted. You're just as ignorant as the dumb Christian fucks defending their God, and you're defending what? Cliches. That's all. Borgish ideas that have been around in human culture for thousands of years. So you're just a traditionalist, is that it? You're just defending the traditional notions that life is good, life is purposeful, life accomplishes something. Because you don't want to hear about the fact that maybe it's just a replicating molecule. And maybe the whole thing doesn't really produce anything but a lot of wasted suffering. You don't want to hear a truth like that. So you'll naysay and nitpick. You won't even watch the videos. You don't understand anything. 15 minutes is too much of your time. It's not 6 15-minute videos. It's pick any one of the 6 videos and play it. They're all the same video, the same content, just presented a little differently. They're not meant to be 6 different videos that you go watch. It's just 6 varieties of the same thing. An explanation of what we are, how we got here, and what it means to be here. And I did it in 15 minutes, which is pretty damn good, to explain life on Earth in 15 minutes. And you even critique that. Oh, that's asking too much. People can't spend... No, it's too much, too much. You can open your fucking mouth, but you can't spend 15 minutes to be informed first. Yeah, amazing. And somebody shouldn't critique that. You're going to critique somebody else's philosophy, and you can't even bother to be informed enough. I mean, you've just opened the door to a huge critique. That you're just a shit-talking, out of your ass-talking asshole on the internet. Bad-mouthing and insulting other people for beliefs that you can't even define, describe, or point out how they're wrong. Anti-natalists are advocating that all of human population behave exactly how the smartest 80% are already behaving, moron. The top 80% of people do not reproduce at a rate sufficient to maintain human existence. That's a fact, fuckhead. Fact. Okay? Fact. Deal with that fact. And explain how it's wrong for a minority of people to say maybe the minority of people currently who are having all these kids, maybe they should behave how the other 80% are. Yeah, maybe that'd be a good idea. I mean, there's lots of thought experiments have been done, but you know, you can just make them up all over the place. And I could put the question to you: is there no circumstance where you would find life unacceptably harsh? Let's say there's some new microbe that comes around, and all the people who don't have AIDS become infertile, and so only people with AIDS can have babies, and all the babies are guaranteed to have AIDS. That's what this scenario is. Would you impose life on all those kids and say, well, that's the only way we can have it, so you're going to have AIDS? We say so. We think it's a good idea. There's no standards I could describe. What if it was Lou Gehrig's disease? You're automatically going to get Lou Gehrig's disease. The only people left on Earth who could reproduce are people who carry the trait for Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. All right, and they're going to get it, and they're going to slowly deteriorate and eventually die by suffocating on their own saliva. Would you impose that life on them? This is the only game in town. Nature said so. What would be your logic for saying yes, that's responsible behavior? Go ahead, have kids under that circumstance. We're just saying we have different standards than you. Our standards are you don't have a right to impose it on anybody. You don't have a right to assume somebody's going to like the game you like playing. And you don't have a right to force them to the ball field and say you're going to play whether you like it or not. And if you don't want to play, you're going to have to kill yourself. That's going to be the choice we're going to give you. And then we're going to call ourselves ethical and decent. Well, I'm going to say that's indecent. It's unethical. It's wrong. You haven't proven you have a right to impose any of this stuff. The fact that I can make a fist doesn't give me a right to throw it in somebody's face. And the fact that you can produce sperm doesn't give you a right to create human beings. So it's not that difficult to understand. It really isn't. Until you can make it a no-risk game, you have no right to play it. Just like nuclear power or anything else, just how we can all impose standards on other people and say you can't until we make it fail-safe. You can't own a bazooka, you can't own a nuclear bomb, you can't own whatever, missiles. You know, you can't have them until we can make them fail-safe. You can't own them. We make laws like that. Why is it wrong to make a law that says you can't replicate, you can't produce children until you can do it with the assurance that you're not going to impose life on somebody who doesn't appreciate being here? Yeah, it's not that complicated. Fact is, life is fundamentally broken because it can't be played ethically. You can't play the replicating game ethically. All you can do is violate other people's rights playing the game. And the first violation is to impose life on somebody who may not wish to be here. Yeah, maybe they will wish to be here. But the fact is, there's a risk that they won't. And you're just saying, how many people will you abuse to have what you want? How many is too many? So now I'll quote a movie. There was that lame Star Trek movie, Revolution, on a little planet, you know, because they had some sort of special powers or whatever. They lived forever. And so the Empire wanted to steal the energy from their planet to get this forever living thing. And so yeah, and then the question was posed: how many people do you have to violate till it's too many? Is it 1,000, or is it 10,000, or is it 10 million? When's it too many people who you've denied rights to, who you've abused without their consent? And you're just saying it's okay, that most people like life. Now I'm saying most people have a psychological sickness. Okay, most people have no clue what planet they're really living on. Most people are deluded ignoramuses. And so the opinion of most people doesn't mean a hell of a lot. And regardless, even if they were 100% legitimate in their opinion, the bottom line is they don't have a right to tell the 10% or the 20% or whatever the number is that they have to play along. Is that too hard for you to understand? This video is too long. Is it dealt with a serious subject and tried to explain it to assholes like you? Small-minded, bigoted, shit-talking assholes like you? Yeah. So really, fuck you, asshole. I think what, I should put your name in the video. I'll say whatever your name is, who can't spell Orygyn correctly, and put you and associate you with pedophiles. How about I associate you with pedophiles? You associate me with Jonestown, I'll associate you with pedophiles. How would that be, asshole? You might play the same game? I mean, really, fuck you. Fuck you, your word games. Your video had no content. It made no counter-argument why you have empirical proof that life is worth living, that it's worth having it imposed upon you, that the victims you are imposing suffering on have no right to say no. They have no right to veto your behavior. You have a right to essentially throw them in the trunk, say, fuck you, shut up. We're all going to party land and eat cotton candy. And you're going to like it. Fuck you. That's all you're doing, asshole. That's it. You got nothing else. You have no other argument. You have no God to demonstrate the purpose of your existence, the usefulness of human existence. So you have nothing. You have nothing but your arrogance, and you're saying, we will impose. And then anybody who wants to stop you from imposing, somehow they're the criminal. Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, I smell what you're cooking. And such. Anyway, fuck these people, really. It's just a silly, trivial video. That's all there are. Silly, superficial critiques. Nothing. No substance. Nothing. Anyway, until next time. Don't know where I'll post this. Don't know if I'll post this, but whatever. Fucking idiot. 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 Whoa, guess I might as well have this on. Another, whatever. Whatever. I'm just going to say something insulting about youth and stupidity.
Universal reason for being, for existing, so why even exist? And my answer is that you might as well exist because there will be plenty of time when you no longer exist anymore.
Yeah, whatever. It's not cute. I mean, really, there's no argument for the. There's nothing. You're not saying anything. There'll be plenty of time while you'll exist no more. Well, the truth is, though, that things just keep existing. All right, you don't get here by some decision you make. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show up for the fun, and you don't get to choose what package of skin you're gonna get stuck in. And this is the game that keeps getting rolling along. So, I mean, it doesn't even end. There isn't all this time that you spend not existing. And so these little games people play with words, like only the lucky get to not exist, or some other play on words and whatever. It doesn't mean a hell of a lot. The question is fundamentally, is this thing running efficiently enough? Is there too few bodies dead on the road? I mean, if this was the real consequence, if people really took accountability and acknowledged the price of they're paying for this thing, is the price worth it? So you're all kind of just like, oh well, so what? 50,000 people die on the highways, cars are worth it. Now somebody could say, no, it's really not worth it. The ruined families and all the other crap for the bullshit trips that most people are taking, it's probably not worth it. A lot of it is just nonsense. And it's a lot of grief and suffering and being paralyzed and all this other crap for nothing. That's the real question. And this game playing is just an evasion of the real question. How low should your standards be? How many get out of jail free cards does life get? How many mistakes can it make? How flawed can it be? And you assholes, excuse my French, will just keep saying, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It really doesn't matter how bad you make it, because you're just going to keep saying something stupid like, well, you'll have plenty of time not to exist later. Fuck.
There was plenty of time before you existed, and there will be plenty of
We need more volume here.
Where you no longer exist and your life is just a blip in time. And so you might as well try to enjoy.
Well, whatever. It's been blipping for 4 billion years. And it's been sentiently blipping, you know, bleeding and screaming for like 500 million years. Not a blip in time, not a meaningless amount of suffering. You know, millions of consciousnesses have experienced abject horror. I mean, just horror. Things you would pay hard, big piles of money to avoid if you could. If you could actually buy your way out of it, you'd work a lifetime to do it. But yeah, I trivialize it because it's all about you, right? Yeah, of course it is.
The short span of time in which you have. I don't think that you should necessarily be a hedonist and seek pleasure because...
Well, why not? You know, if you're not going to fix it, all right, if part of your agenda is not fixing anything, well, then I guess you might as well make yourself at least happy. No point in being unhappy at all. No point in wasting any time not being happy if you're not going to do anything constructive to the frickin' machine itself. But no, that's too complicated. Yeah, the distinction between you and the existence of sentience in the universe, those two things, those two subjects, somehow you have to separate them.
Pleasure is just as much of an illusion as anything else. It doesn't...
Well, guess what? There's a big, huge difference between an illusion that feels good and one that doesn't feel good. Oh, Firefox crashed. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I don't think we're sorry. I don't think you're sorry. You're not sorry enough, fuckers. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll watch the rest of this later. I don't know what I'll post when. Who knows? Who cares? Whatever. Everybody's an idiot. That's how I'm looking at it. I hit the button. Alright, let's finish up here or something.
Happiness upon a person. I don't think, at least. Maybe it does. Maybe some. Maybe some. You know, I don't know. But yeah, this is kind of these fundamental existential...
Yeah, 10 years in a nursing home, shitting yourself. Brain tumor.
Qualms that some people have. They realize that nothing matters in the long run, and that the earth will be destroyed, the sun will burn out, the universe will collapse upon itself, and that in the end it's all futile. Life is futile, so why even keep going? Well, and
I don't think too many people are even asking that question. Why even keep going? That seems like such a personal thing. You know what I mean? I mean, that's kind of irrelevant once you're already here. Whether you stay here or don't stay here, who the hell cares? Who the fuck gives a rat's ass? I really don't give a fuck. Alright? The only thing I care about is the assholes making new ones. Because that's how I got here. Somebody else made the decision for me and said, you're going to play the stupid game. Okay. That's what I care about. The people imposing it on somebody else. That's the subject. I think that was Schopenhauer's point, really. I don't think he was too concerned. I mean, if you can find something to entertain yourself. If that's all the game is for you, oh, how do I get through it? Well, you can get through it. That's really not the subject. The subject is, who should be the next victim? And should there be any more victims?
another reason, besides the fact that there will be plenty of time when you no longer exist, another reason is you simply aren't going to be able to kill yourself because in all likelihood your will is much stronger than your intellect.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, so that's written on what rock where by who. What God says so. Your will is stronger than your intellect. Guess what? Your intellect composes your will. Often. Very often. I mean, the more sophisticated you are, the more intelligent you are, the more cultured you are, the more integrity and character you have, the more your intellect composes your will. You will what your brain says. It disciplines you. It says, I want to achieve certain things. Certain things are good goals. and it establishes those and establishes the road to get there. So once again, fail.
Where your will is much stronger than the suffering in which you currently face, and it might be a lot of suffering.
Whatever. This is trivial. This is less than Cracker Jack or Bazooka Joe philosophy. This is psychobabble nonsense. This isn't even close to getting to real human psychology. So, fail. If you're in school,
don't get me wrong, I'm
fail.
extremely pessimistic. So to combat this pessimism, there were other thinkers who came up with ideas for how you should live your life, perhaps more passionately, devoting yourself or throwing yourself to some passion. And it's kind of like these guys like Nietzsche and Kierkegaard, and Camus was big on the absurd. This is an absurd condition in which we have to face, where we are juggling.
Yeah, whatever. Again, I just don't see this as being even relevant. Right? So this is all it's about, is how do you get through your life? That's the big questions, the big philosophical questions is how do I have a good time? I mean, if you can't figure that out, especially if you're a male, then you're dumb. Now, it's really not that hard to be entertained, if that's all you're after. If you're trying to be productive, you're trying to be useful, you try to be functional, then you have reason for this existential angst and all the rest of this crap. You can get pretty goddamn angsty, because being productive in this shithole of a fucking sewer is really difficult. There is shit everywhere. You don't even know where to start to clean up the shit.
A contradiction constantly. The contradiction is that we keep on living, our body keeps on moving, we get up and it's animated, and we don't even see why it bothers in the long run, because the fate is the same for everyone. We all die. So...
It really isn't that funny. It really goddamn isn't. Go to the hospital, go to the nursing home, check it out, see that it isn't really goddamn that funny. It really isn't. It's not funny. It's not fucking funny.
I'm sorry for laughing, but it's kind of hard not to be
an asshole. Right, you have to be an asshole. That's right. You can't do anything in proportion or rationally. So as soon as life gets a little gnarly and complicated, you got to put on your clown suit and have a parade so you can distract everybody and keep everybody off the ball, kind of thing. Let's play a different game because reality's a little too real.
A pessimistic overall outlook towards life in general. There's suffering that abounds everywhere, and that's why okay. Anyway.
Yeah, well, you can't really talk about suffering and be smiling about it, because that makes you even more insidiously cruel and disgusting than like Mother Teresa or something. It makes you a psychopathic sociopath when you're smiling and laughing when you're talking about other people's suffering. It's just not fucking appropriate. It really isn't.
So, I don't know if anyone's ever made this claim before, but I think that Schopenhauer may be the grandfather of existentialism, with his extreme pronounced pessimism towards life.
Whatever. Yeah, but his own philosophy was full of shit too. I mean, he was all like, "Oh well, there's nothing that's great. It's my little experience with Buddhism, how I just meditated life away." Yeah, it's more show, more blowy, showy bullshit. More like, let's just pretend. No, fuck that shit.
In general, it kind of gave birth to these existential thinkers who are trying to give some purpose to a purposeless life. And
they're not trying to give purpose to a purposeful life. They're just basically saying we don't give a fuck. They're basically just nihilist motherfucking cunts who just say, I'm not taking responsibility for the system and the game. I'm just going to play the game and win. That's all they're saying. It's gladiator war. I'm going to pick up a sword and I'm going to stab shit and win. That's it. They're not saying shit about anything. They're not doing anything. They're not fixing anything. They're just satisfying their own ego ambitions and calling that accomplishment. Fail.
It's kind of like this idea that you can have systems of philosophy that work for other
systems of philosophy. I mean, really, this is just so fucking stupid. That's systems of psychology. That isn't systems of philosophy. Philosophy is describing reality. That's what philosophy is attempting to do, is accurately describe the reality of our circumstance. That if you're not doing that, sorry, it's not philosophy. It's some other bullshit, but it's not fucking philosophy. It's psychobabble bullshit.
Yeah, universal ideas or even constants, but you can't have a system of philosophy for life, for living, for the...
No, whatever. Right, you can't sit there and figure out your origins, your basic constructs, come to the conclusion that we have two basic elements. We have a desirous physiology, conditioned demands, and then we have an intellect that can logically understand the consequence of actions and understand, measure whether there's productivity in the action. Whether, well, yeah, if I eat something as valuable as myself, if I cause something else harm to gain my pleasure, that I have to do the math and figure out whether that's justified. Yeah, we have a brain that can do that. Yeah.
Human condition, because the human condition is so different for everyone that
sorry, again, that's the psychology, okay? It's not the condition, it's a psychology. It's not the truth of their existence that's different. Their psychology is different, all right? And what they understand is different. And it's either right or wrong when it comes to the understanding part, okay? There is no God, so all those people are full of shit. They have a psychology dominated by a presumption of a belief system that is completely corrosive to them understanding anything in a real context. They're broken because they either have bad ideas or they don't have any ideas moderating their animalistic psychology. Those are the two ways you can be broken. Get it wrong in terms of your understanding, or get it wrong in terms of your understanding in such a way as you liberate your psychology to be nothing better than a stupid, dumb animal.
You can never have a distinct system, so you probably should get comfortable with juggling contradictions.
Yeah, why should you do that? Why should anybody rational juggle contradictions? They should resolve them and say, well, there's a problem. If there's a contradiction, there's a problem. It needs to be fixed. Logically.
Something can be both true and untrue at the same time. So, I don't know, I'm a fan of Schopenhauer. He the one line that I really like is, in order to not be very happy, or in order for a person not to be very unhappy, a person should not expect to be very happy.
Yeah, right. So don't expect to be happy and then you'll be happier, because you won't be expecting to be happy. Right, so it's just basically saying keep your standards low. Oh yeah, well that makes living your own personal life easier, but again, it doesn't do a damn thing for your productivity in the world. It doesn't make you useful or constructive. It doesn't mean that they're going to write anything good on your tombstone when you're dead. They'll just write, well, he consumed a bunch of animals, tortured them for his own satisfaction, abused a few people in relationships, lied his ass off and other things, stole some money, blah, 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 and have a nice little critique that basically says this asshole created more harm than good. Period. He left the world a worse place for his fucking lousy, crappy, shitty fucking existence.
It's to lay your happiness on a broad foundation, to need a lot to be happy. The less you need, or just simply being satisfied with what you have, and if fate brings you more, then Okay, that's good, but
Yeah, this is again just all kind of psychobabble. This has nothing to do with the truth and philosophy. This just has to do with, well, what kind of strategy can I use to make myself feel better? Oh, well, if I have a broken leg, I'll just imagine, oh, it's better than having two broken legs. Yeah, so I'm doing really good because I don't have two broken legs. Right now, I don't have a horrible migraine headache, and I don't think I have cancer, so everything's going just fine. So I'll just be happy all day because everything's just fine because I've compared it to something ludicrously worse. And that's called psychology, fuckhead.
you know, you always want more and more and more. There's never enough. So it's a big problem with this.
It's a no, this isn't a big problem. This really isn't a big problem in philosophy. This is a big problem for human beings trying to actualize themselves. But know what else is a big problem? Is the fact that, yeah, we have to actualize our satisfaction in a world where other people are trying to actualize their satisfaction. And a lot of the things we want, like cheap things and stuff like that, means that other people have to be enslaved or have their arms cut off in unsafe factories and all kinds of other bullshit so we can have what we want. And that sucks. And we have to acknowledge the suck. Or the suck remains. If we don't acknowledge the suck, we won't do anything to fix the suck. If we just pretend, well, it's okay because I don't have any expectations. I don't expect the world to be just and fair and decent. So therefore, I'll be happy. Well, then you're an asshole.
You know, situation we have with living and all that, and being a person with all of our endless desires. It's really horrible. Stop wanting so much. Just, but, the Buddha...
Oh, yes, Buddha man. Okay, I'll want less. Okay, Mr. Buddha man, I'll take your advice. Okay. I won't want the world to be better. Yeah, I'll just accept it as it is. The fucking smelly turd that it is. I'll just say I love turd. Because it's not double turd. Fuck this.
Just, to desire not to have desire is also a desire. So it's like this infinite...
Well, no, it isn't an infinite regression, because there's a huge difference between establishing, okay, a principled goal and just doing something because it feels good. They're different things. So to say it's an infinite regression is bullshit. Some disciplines we apply to ourselves as mission statements and such are not the same as your desires. You have to turn them into a desire to actualize them, but they come from a different source, a source that has integrity.
Regress that happens with Buddhism, and they try to desire nothing and live in a hut, never desire, but to desire not to desire is okay, I just said that.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a pile of crap, actually. Because guess what? If you accomplish satisfying the mandate to reduce your desire, then you will break the regression, because you will, if you accomplish it and succeed in accomplishing that desire, there won't be any recurring desire. It will be the last desire you'll ever have.
So anyway, so what does all this mean? Why does it matter? I guess it matters if you are having existential qualms or if you're just fucking depressed.
Well, then you've got a psychology problem, okay? It's not a philosophy problem, it's a psychology problem. And if it is a philosophy problem, if you're depressed because you're looking at the world and going, holy shit, that's totally inadequate, well, that's a problem. The world is totally inadequate. If you're correct, then yeah, you live in shit, and wow, you gotta do something about that. Because living in shit is stupid. And it's really stupid to have babies if you're living in shit. That's called fucking ludicrously stupid.
If you're really depressed, I don't know. I have been very depressed before, and when I get really depressed, I try to change something or try to.
Get some pink balloons, and you put the pink balloons around the house, and you paint smiley faces on them, and then you won't be depressed anymore. How about that? Let's all give advice about how not to be depressed.
provoke myself into doing something differently, and usually that works. I think that if you are an extremely rational thinker, it's easy to be depressed. I really think that. I really think that if you're really honest about the human condition, and perhaps you may not...
You know it's depressing. It's not that the human condition sucks. But you just say, well, the universe is a dumb motherfucker. It couldn't help but make something stupid and ugly and messy. Okay? That's not the part that's depressing. It's the fact that you can't do anything about it that is depressing. The fact that, yes, you know, because all these assholes are laughing their way through their lives and laughing at philosophy and laughing at anything serious, that nothing can get accomplished. Nothing. Go out. You can yell at me later. Come on, go outside. Stupid cat. I gotta finish this video. Alright, what the hell, I just added another segment. What, this doesn't matter, right? Alright, let's get this done. Already.
Things in the long run getting much better. So what do? I think some sense of romanticism is necessary. Maybe not too much, but you know, if...
Oh, whatever. So I do just back to come some sort of stoic argument again. So let's just do the Sisyphus thing again. Let's just make these stupid rationalizations and excuses and justifications. That's fine. You do them internally, okay? But don't preach them. Don't argue them like they're philosophy, because they're not. They're just contrivances you use to make life tolerable and acceptable and stomachable. So, but don't call that a philosophy. That's not philosophy. It's just bullshit psychology.
If you want to romanticize life, that can be fun. There's also...
it's just lies, right? So just make up a bunch of lies, keep promoting a system, keep indulging assholes who keep promoting it and pushing it and having babies and doing all this crap. Don't ever get serious about it. Don't do what's really necessary, which is to talk shit about life. Life is a whore, a skanky, dirty, disease-ridden whore, and people need to talk about it. They need to talk about the fucking dirty, skanky whore.
Just imagination and possibility and all kinds of things that can break away, but I'm probably not the best person to talk about that, I don't think, at least, but I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know, I think maybe not. Yeah, that's sort of my conclusion. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, because you're just basically saying, talk shit, think shit, do shit. Great. I say that's shit.
I don't know. I'm not sure about any of this.
Yeah. Brilliant.
But anyway, thanks.
Why? What? What are you doing? Why do this? Why talk on the internet if you're just going to talk shit and then finish your video with, I don't know, maybe I'm just full of shit. What the fuck is the point of that? What the fuck? You don't know, can't figure out how that's just noise. That's just wasting people's time. Huh? That's just like spam or something. I mean, fuck. Jesus. You know, it's depressing. You're depressing me with this nonsense. This whatever it is, glorified shit. Shit. That's all it is. Shit. Shit cupcake or something. Just a pink shit balloon. Anyway. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I've been working on shit. Yeah. So I have worked on my little thing here, this thing, so now I can play videos in there. It should work anyway, right? I hit this thing. Video should load in here. And I click on it, it should play.
Oh, me again.
Wow.
I think I'm here.
Except I'm loud. I'm really loud. But anyway, I did get it to work, so now it plays my video. So anyway, I have to create links and icons and make it all work in here. But the cool thing is, yeah, you can load it on any page. I can just go anywhere on the internet. I could just click on any page. Blah, blah, blah.
Give your friends a piece of rope or string. Ask them to hold the...
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You know, I can play my video instead. I mean, there's just a point to this. You'd link from other websites to this website, and then, you know, play the video from here.
Oh!
See? You do something, it would be more constructive. It's not just going to sit here and do this. It'll do more stuff. Yeah, it has lots of other stuff. I mean, there really is lots of other things to do here. I like the game. Somebody else linked to the game, which was a nice gesture. The game should work. Hello? Hello? Yeah, see if Borders works. Yeah, the Borders works. I believe the game link must have got erased when I had to move all those files, so I'll just have to put that one back. The little JS file must have got removed. I'll have to fix that. So many things to do, so few people to do it. Black and white. Black and white thing. Black and white, black and white. Get rid of the borders. It's too heavy. But anyway, lots of things we'll be able to do. Very interesting and such. Probably, maybe. Possibly interesting. Anyway, I didn't go to sleep yet. It's 8:20 in the morning. I could do stick camp tonight. This is not gonna work. Nope. But who cares? I don't care. I really don't care. I do care, but I just don't care. Anyway, till next time. I'm just sick of everything. Yep. Okay, till next time. I hit the button. I really